The Transportation Security Administration, TSA, is responsible for keeping us all safe when we fly. Their job is to ensure no dangerous or prohibited items make it onto planes. But sometimes the things we carry or do can raise red flags that get us stopped at security. In this video, we'll explore the biggest red flags that could get you stopped by the TSA. Let's dive into some of the things that can slow you down at the airport and make your journey a little more stressful. 1. Suspicious behavior. One of the quickest ways to get stopped by the TSA is by acting nervous or suspicious. TSA officers are trained to look for people who seem anxious, fidgety, or overly concerned about going through security. This doesn't mean you can't be nervous. After all, flying can be stressful. But if you're pacing around, sweating profusely, avoiding eye contact, or acting jumpy, the TSA might think you have something to hide. Remember, staying calm and composed is key. Take a deep breath, follow instructions, and don't act like you're trying to hide anything, and you'll sail through without a problem. 2. Packing prohibited items. Another surefire way to get stopped is by packing items that are not allowed in your carry-on bag. The TSA has strict rules about what can and can't go through security. Items like knives, scissors with long blades, liquids over 3.4 ounces, 100 milliliters, and certain types of batteries can cause issues. If you pack something that's not allowed, the TSA will stop you, go through your bag, and confiscate the item. In some cases, you may even face fines. Always check the TSA website or your airline's rules before packing your bags to avoid this hassle. Trust me, you don't want to be the person holding up the line because you packed a bottle of water or a large tube of toothpaste. 3. Forgetting to take out electronics. If you're carrying electronics in your bag, especially larger items like laptops or gaming consoles, you'll need to take them out of your bag and place them in a separate bin for screening. Forgetting to do this is a common mistake, and it'll get you stopped by the TSA. TSA officers want to get a clear look at these items when they go through the X-ray machine. If you leave your laptop buried under your clothes, your bag will get flagged for a secondary inspection. This slows everything down and may even cause you to miss your flight if you're in a rush. So, make sure to have your electronics easily accessible and take them out before you reach the conveyor belt. 4. Wearing complicated or bulky clothing. What you wear through airport security can also be a red flag for the TSA. Bulky jackets, baggy clothes, heavy boots, and multiple layers can make it harder for TSA officers to see if you're hiding something. The more complicated your outfit, the more likely you'll be asked to step aside for additional screening. Try to keep your airport outfit simple and easy to manage. Wear shoes that are easy to slip on and off, avoid excessive layers, and leave the heavy jewelry at home. You can always put it back on after you clear security. 5. Forgetting to empty your pockets. One of the most common reasons people get stopped by the TSA is forgetting to empty their pockets. Coins, keys, cell phones, and even tissues can set off the metal detector and get you pulled aside for a pat-down or a secondary screening. Before you go through the scanner, double-check your pockets. TSA officers will remind you to empty them, but it's easy to forget in the rush. Having to go back and take off your belt or empty your pockets will slow down not only you but everyone else in line. 6. Traveling with large amounts of cash. Carrying a large sum of cash can raise red flags with the TSA, as it's often associated with illegal activity like drug trafficking or money laundering. While it's not illegal to carry cash, if you have an unusually large amount, you might get pulled aside for additional questioning. If you do need to travel with a lot of cash, be prepared to explain why you have it. Maybe you're going to make a big purchase, or you're traveling somewhere that doesn't take credit cards. Whatever the reason, just be ready to answer a few extra questions. 7. Refusing to follow instructions. Refusing to follow TSA instructions is a big no-no. Whether it's removing your shoes, taking off your belt, or putting your liquids in a separate bag, TSA officers expect you to follow the rules. If you refuse, argue, or become uncooperative, you'll definitely get stopped. The best way to avoid this is to simply follow instructions. TSA agents aren't there to make your life difficult. They're just doing their job. If you're unsure about something, ask questions, but don't argue. Cooperation will get you through security much faster. 8. Carrying too many liquids. The TSA's 311 rule for liquids can be confusing, but if you don't follow it, you'll get stopped. All liquids, gels and aerosols must be in containers of 3.4 ounces, 100 milliliters, or less, and they must all fit into a single quart-sized, clear plastic bag. If you try to sneak through larger bottles of shampoo, lotion, or water, TSA officers will pull you aside and confiscate the items. This can slow you down and cause unnecessary stress. To avoid this, measure your liquids carefully and stick to the 311 rule. 9. Packing food that looks suspicious. Bringing food through security is generally allowed, but certain types of food can look suspicious on the X-ray machine. Dense foods like cheeses, cakes, and even peanut butter can resemble explosives on the scanner, causing TSA officers to stop you for further inspection. If you're traveling with food, be prepared to have it checked. It's a good idea to keep your food items in clear, resealable bags so that TSA officers can easily see what they are. This will help you avoid unnecessary delays. 10. Traveling with unusual items. If you're carrying something that's out of the ordinary, like a large amount of jewelry, a strange gadget, or a rare collectible, it could raise a red flag. Unusual items can confuse TSA officers and make them wonder if you're trying to hide something. To avoid this, pack unusual items in your checked luggage whenever possible. If you do need to carry them with you, be ready to explain what they are and why you have them. Being open and honest will help smooth the process. 11. Wearing a hat or head covering. While it's perfectly fine to wear a hat or head covering for religious or personal reasons, it might get you stopped by the TSA. Head coverings can obscure your face or hide items, so TSA officers may ask you to remove them for a closer look. If you don't want to remove your head covering, you can ask for a private screening. The TSA is required to respect your privacy and religious beliefs, but they still need to make sure you're not hiding anything dangerous. 12. Traveling with pets. Traveling with pets can also get you stopped by the TSA, especially if you're not prepared. Pets need to be screened just like passengers, and they'll need to go through the metal detector or be inspected by a TSA officer. Make sure you know the rules for traveling with pets before you get to the airport. You'll need to take them out of their carrier and carry them through security, so be ready to handle your pet while going through the screening process. 13. Flying with medical equipment. If you're traveling with medical equipment, such as oxygen tanks, insulin pumps, or mobility devices, you may be stopped by the TSA for extra screening. These items can trigger alarms or look suspicious on the X-ray machine. To avoid issues, make sure to notify the TSA officer about your medical equipment before going through security. You may also want to carry a doctor's note or a medical ID card to explain why you need the equipment. 14. Booking a one-way ticket. Booking a one-way ticket can sometimes raise a red flag with the TSA. While it's not illegal, one-way tickets are often associated with suspicious travel activity. If you're flying one way, TSA officers might pull you aside for additional questioning to make sure your travel plans are legitimate. If you have a valid reason for booking a one-way ticket, just be ready to explain it if asked. Being polite and cooperative will help you move through the process more smoothly. 15. Having an unusual travel history. If your travel history looks unusual, such as visiting high-risk or war-torn countries, it might catch the attention of TSA officers. While they won't always stop you, having stamps from certain countries in your passport could lead to more questions at security. If you're traveling after visiting such places, be prepared for extra scrutiny. As always, being calm and explaining your situation clearly will help get you through any additional checks. And there you have it, the biggest red flags that can get you stopped by the TSA. While going through airport security can be a hassle, following these tips will help you avoid unnecessary delays and get to your flight smoothly. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel for more travel tips, and leave a comment below with your thoughts or any other TSA tips you have. Safe travels!